have an announcement. Rossmore Carmel University is recruiting one senior cheerleader to receive a full ride scholarship. Now, this year's new team captain, Beth Hartford.
Mom, can't believe it.
Congratulations.
Shocking. Coach's daughter makes captain. Gee, I wonder if you'll get the scholarship too.
Are you sure you didn't make me captain because I'm your daughter?
Being captain is about more than mastering a dance move. You rally the team behind you.
I need to win this cheerleading scholarship.
Maybe you should sleep with
The recruiter. I'll do anything. You know I don't even like cheerleading, and I especially hate my washed-up mom. Somebody took a video of me and altered it.
It's a crappy deepfake.
What's a deepfake?
It's a video that's been manipulated to make it look like someone's doing something they're not.
Who would do something like that?
I can think of at least one person.
Everything all right?
One of my friends being weird.
My daughter is just as good as Beth.
The deepfake. It's gone viral.
Is that tequila? Okay, in my video, I had a sports drink.
You're drinking now?
I know how this looks, but I'm not lying.
Your mom has always favored you. You're cheer captain.
What are we gonna do?
What happened?
You passed out during a routine.
The doctor said they found oxycodone in your system.
What?
She should be kicked off the team. You clearly don't know everything your daughter is up to.
There's security cameras in the gym.
You want to break into the principal's office?
Someone had to upload it onto the computer that night. Did you make the videos?
Because I'm taking animation class. Is that why?
Liv never would have gotten that scholarship over you. When is it her time to shine? It's about prestige and winning.
May the best woman win.
Welcome to They Call This a Movie, testing the strength of friendships, one terrible movie at a time. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes on the podcast services by searching They Call This a Movie, and find us on Twitter and Instagram at TicTamPod. That's TCTAM Pod. Welcome back to They Call This a Movie. This is Anthony Delvecchio. With me, as always, is Dan Aquino and Mark Myers. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hi, friends.
Hello, everyone. So if you're listening to this podcast a few weeks ago, maybe a month at this point, I had talked about, after seeing Ted Lasso, I was like, maybe I should go to England. Well, folks, I have booked a trip to England, and I leave in 8 days, 7 days, something like that. Rather quick in terms of doing it, but, a little bit of an impulse here, but I did have the money saved up and the time off, so I decided to do it. And, so, dreams do come true, guys. That's all I'm saying.
Now you're going to go spread the word about the podcast, right? You're not just going for fun.
Yeah, I didn't mention this to you guys off podcast, but I'm actually meeting our fan in the Isle of Man.
Oh, nice.
And getting some pointers off him.
So just bring some swag with you, stickers, post them on, what are they, like lifts they call them?
Yeah,
post them on the lifts.
Yeah, stick them on the hat of the guy at Buckingham Palace.
Perfect, yes.
Yeah, I get it.
So you're bringing your laptop and your microphone, and you're going to record at 4 o'clock in the morning over there, right?
Sure.
Yep.
It could be a podcast first. You could record in a different continent.
I assumed you're telling us this now because you were going to make that week's episode, right? That's why you were talking about.
Yeah. I didn't tell you now to give you enough advance time to know that I wouldn't be there. That'd be crazy.
That'd be pretty funny, Mark. We're waiting for Mark to jump onto the recording. He's like, "Oh yeah, he's in England."
It's 4 a.m. The fun thing about this is I was having a discussion with my sister, and we realized that the last time that I took a proper vacation that wasn't like State College or like New York or something that was like for like an event like Boston for your bachelor party. Was her wedding in like 2007. So I was like, maybe I should be doing this more often for things. But yeah, so I'm excited. I've been planning, I got a whole itinerary going for places to see and, trying to get food. But yeah, so like I said, guys, just like The Secret says, you believe in something hard enough and it will come true.
Are you going to make sure you see Big Ben Parliament?
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, do the roundabout.
Yeah. Go in the double deckers.
Hell yeah, man.
It'll be
Try
fun.
and make one of the Buckingham Palace guards laugh.
That's the goal. I'll do one of my bits from the opening of this podcast.
We're gonna see video of Mark getting in the way of one of the royal guard and then just fucking steamroll Mark.
Guys, have you ever thought about why and then go into one of my bits from earlier? I'd have to listen to old episodes. With the things I would spring on you and it'd be silence at the end of my question.
Yeah. Well,
It'd be the perfect audience for that because I get the same reaction.
sure. All right, this week we should have done a July movie of the month, but we completely forgot about a poll, and then it was like sort of late to do a poll at that point when we realized that we should have done it already. So we just kind of moved this week's movie up, and this week was my pick. And I picked a movie that was originally picked for a poll, I think about a year ago this week, like sometime around this summer. And I picked Deadly Cheer Mom and went up against War of the Worlds Annihilation as part of our To-Be Originals poll. So I've watched this before because when that happened and it didn't win, I was like, you know what, let me watch this. And this movie is just insane enough to watch for this podcast. But I want to see where you guys are coming from. So let's start with Mark this week. Mark, where are you coming from with Deadly Cheer Mom?
Yeah, so I really wanted to go first today because I had the weird experience that depending on when we started recording this podcast, I may have had a different opinion about the ending of this movie. For most of the movie, just because the whole video deepfake thing that this movie gets into, I was infuriated about how little they knew about certain things in terms of, how to make good deepfakes. And also how like stupid everybody in the movie was about who could have had the motivation for this. And then they do the dumbest twist out of nowhere in terms of, giving no motivation or anything really until the very last confession at the end of why that person did it. But yeah, the ending, I really want to go first because I want to have a discussion. And Anne, I think you're the one since you've seen it twice or maybe 3 times at this point. The one that discussed this. Are we to believe that all 4 of those people in the hot tub at the end were in on it the entire time? Is that the thought?
Not necessarily, I don't think.
Okay. Yeah,
My wife thinks they are all in it. I don't think they are.
Yeah, because the only thing I liked about, and as I started to appreciate about the ending as I got there, was if that was the final goal, then that makes a bunch of stuff make a little more sense that, everything in the movie was pointing at the one girl, Ashley, for doing it because she wanted Beth's spot. But if you take it as all 4 of those people were involved, they were the 4 people closest to Beth. It makes it more sinister and more satisfying at the end, because until that final scene in the hot tub, I was kind of pissed that it looked like, Liv was going to get no repercussions for what she did.
She doesn't get any repercussions.
No. What I mean is that I was mad that it wasn't going to happen. And then when they showed that ending with them all, I was like, oh, okay. That makes it a little bit cooler. That all 4 of these people, for reasons we don't know, honestly, because I didn't see anything from Beth that would make you have these 4 people conspire to send her to jail. But at least I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. It was conspiracy with the 4 of them. It wasn't this one girl just snapping and, killing her mom and then getting no consequences. There seemed to be at least a narrative reason, but
it's teenage drama.
Yeah.
That's what you don't need anything past these girls are just bitches.
Yeah.
I would say the scene before it, though, it explains the moral of the movie. Nepotism is bad.
Yeah.
And don't let your ambitions come in the way of your friendships.
Yeah.
That's what Beth and her mom learned after all of this.
I don't get that at all. I honestly don't, because there was no nepotism done. Beth was the better cheerleader. It's shown.
Yeah.
I don't get it. What was the point of them admitting that nepotism was bad when there was no nepotism being done, and selling out your friends. She didn't sell out anybody.
Yeah, there was zero reason for all this stuff to happen to Beth. Maybe to the mother, if you think nepotism. But from what I could tell, like, she even befriended the girl that she thinks she got kicked off the team, or she did get her kicked off the team. But you know, she didn't have to do that. You know, it was like all these things. Like, it was like, okay, I'm like, maybe she's a little bit more of a bitch, Beth. I was suspecting the boyfriend the whole time, to be honest.
They do plant that seed pretty hard.
Yeah, and I'm like, and literally, I think it's like with the half, like before when that final video happens at the charity event. As the video goes up, I said to myself, I was like, it'd be so stupid if it was Rebecca the entire time. That would be the dumbest, because it's like, there's not even, like, of all the girls, to be honest, and we can have this discussion. I'll let it pass on to Dan or Ant. But of the girls that were involved, they gave no reason for Liv to harbor any feelings towards Beth that I caught, and it just felt like a twist for twist's sake, rather than having any, any narrative reason. Not that Deadly Cheer Mom needs a narrative reason, but you know, in the sense, it just felt like it could have been any one of the other girls except Liv, and I would have been like, okay, or the boyfriend. Like, even if it was the other girl that she got kicked out of her solo or whatever. Like, okay, but Liv, I don't know. It just felt like that was the one they were like, nobody would guess that it's these people, so we're going to make it these people, more than having a reason for it. And even her reason at the end the mom's reason was kind of just tacked on. It seemed like they worked backwards from the idea of this movie. But that's just me. I was a lot more pissed off at the ending when it first happened, so you would have got a completely different mark if we recorded it like 8 o'clock tonight. But I thought about it a little bit more, and that hot tub scene sort of calmed it down and sealed it for me.
Okay. Dan, what about you? Where are you coming from? Deadly Cheer Mom.
I have not been invested in a movie that we've covered as much as I am invested in this movie. I was yelling at my TV. This movie is infuriating, but I loved it. There's the twists and turns, but they're so dumb. Beth did everything in her power to fuck her entire life up. She did it on her own, because she could have done a few things, and we'll get into it, that would have cleared everything up. But I knew immediately that the mother was involved in this, because the name of the movie is Deadly Cheer Mom. Sure. So one of the mothers has to be involved. And I knew immediately, because they showed at the very beginning, Rebecca has this snide remark to Liv, because Liv says she like sprained her ankle, and Rebecca says, just walk it off. So you can tell this mom is in it to win it, right? Yeah. And then I knew that Violet played some part because she got kicked off the team. So that's just it's the perfect concoction for a revenge movie, especially with high school girls. You don't need much. You don't need like much of a plot or much of a reason for teenage girls to seek revenge on each other. They'll do it at the drop of a hat. And I knew what was coming, but I was still so interested in how it was going to get there. How badly can Mina Savari and her daughter Beth, how badly could they screw this up, and how badly could everyone around them fall for it? And the answer is hook, line, and sinker. The principal does things that she can't do. Like, she oversteps her power in this movie. She's giving Beth detention for things she does at her house. A principal does not have the authority to do that. Like, if a person wants to drink in their house, that's up to the parents to punish them. The principal does not have the authority to punish a student outside of school ground. So that was one of them. My one big question was, how could Mina Savari, how could she afford a house in the Hollywood Hills on a coaching salary.
Well, that's why Beth needed to get the scholarship to Rose Carmel College.
I would be surprised because that's a big fucking house they live in.
That is pretty big.
And we know the dad's out of the picture.
Yep. He's a drug addict.
He's a drug addict, right? Because that's what they're afraid Beth is going to be. She's going to turn out to be like her dad. And you could cut this if you want, but I thought it was kind of refreshing to see a black woman be a Karen, because you don't see that very often.
Sure.
Right? And
Marisol.
Yeah, Marisol. I knew it couldn't have been her because they really were trying to push that thread, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was all in on the boyfriend.
See, I think they hinted at it real quick, and that was it. It was like, oh, they haven't really shown too much of the boyfriend. Like, he comes in, he's fooling around with Beth, and they just show that one close-up shot of him, and I guess they want you to think that he planted everything.
Yeah, they give you that shot with everyone except Liv, I think, of them sort of, because the one girl sort of stands over her bed after she passes out.
Mm-hmm.
Violet does something earlier in the movie, and and Ashley's just being a mean girl for most of the movie. I think it was a lot of the, at least in my head, the motivation, if they were going to do a twist, made sense for it to be a boyfriend, or the boyfriend be like, have a mom that one, deadly cheer mom. But I thought the boyfriend was going to be in on it with one of the moms, sort of that crazy sense.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm still stuck on the outside of you brought up a point that I completely forgot about, Dan, which was the Rebecca's reaction in the beginning. But I don't know. The thing I'm hanging on is I don't see at any point where Liv would have been the person that wanted to do this to Beth. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
I will say I didn't suspect Liv until towards the end. So in my mind, I thought it was her mother, Rebecca, and Violet. I thought they were doing things. I didn't know if they were working in cahoots necessarily, but I thought that they both had a part to play in it. I didn't realize Liv was also a part of it. Yeah.
I think if I saw a little bit more of Liv and Violet interacting, maybe I could have bought it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, Violet seemed to have more interactions with everyone else. I think they were trying too hard not to telegraph Liv, that I think they forgot to give her anything.
Yeah, she kind of takes it back to
me. Yeah.
But I found out there was something deep within me that enjoys teenage drama, apparently. Like I yearned for it. Like, oh, this is the good shit.
Took it to your veins.
Yes. Yeah. I was immediately from the get-go where Marisol is giving Mina Savari's character some shit. It's like, ooh, yeah, here we go. We're gonna get that good tea.
What was Jen's reaction to this movie?
She was furious with it. It was great because we were in sync with what was going on with the movie. Like, they can't do that. Can she do that? No, she can't do that. Why is she doing that? So it was a real bonding experience, Ant. So
there you go.
Listen, I gotta give you credit where credit's due. You made our marriage that much stronger.
I'm glad. Yeah, as for me, I have seen this before, as I mentioned, and I almost forgot what the ending was until I saw Rebecca and her little snide remark in the beginning. I was like, oh yeah, she's the one that did it. This movie's fucking crazy. My favorite part is when Mina Savari lifts Beth's mattress to see if there's anything under it, and there's an entire handle of tequila under there.
It's like Princess and the Pea thing here. How do you not feel?
It's like, how is it that thing just shattered into a million pieces?
It's the good cheap plastic bottle stuff.
Oh, that's true.
Love that. I think so. There's two pieces of trivia for this movie, and the first one is a fascinating one, It says director Doug Campbell was inspired to make this film after he was a victim of deepfake technology. I do not know if this is real, and I feel like it's not. But if it is, so many questions.
That's good.
Yeah, this is like the ending is so bonkers. I love the fact that our hero of the movie winds up in jail at the end.
Yeah.
And the two people that have been a victim through the entire runtime of this film apologize for their role in it.
Right, yeah, they come across at the end as the ones who have done the most wrong.
Yeah.
When one of the main characters murdered her mother and the other one basically assaulted the main character through the deepfakes.
Yeah.
Ruined her life. But no, at the end it's I shouldn't have sold out my friends. What?
Yeah. And that confession at the end, I could understand the Mina Savari, confession, finally, I guess, admitting to the audience or whatever, and to her daughter, that there was nepotism involved. But Beth's whole side of it, I'm like, I know I've been on this the entire podcast so far. I didn't see at any point where she was being the mean girl and like stepping over her friends.
Not none.
Yeah.
Never. Yeah. And even she, in the beginning, Beth tells her mom that Violet isn't a very good cheerleader, which is 100% true. And listen, families do that. They talk about things that are happening in their kids' lives, right? So, for instance, Aunt, your dad coached Little League Baseball, right?
Yep.
So I'm sure there were times where you guys would talk about like, oh, so and so, he's not as good as this person, or because that's just life, man. That's how it is. Some people are just not good at things, and that's okay. It's okay to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not selling your friends out.
Yeah, that's the reason why I picked this movie, to be honest with you, is the ending and the fact where Beth ends up at the end of this movie is just so funny to me.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mark. I'm sorry.
I'm just replaying. I'm thinking. I was like, even the Violet stuff. She invites her to do the thing. At the for the college, which had some fucking stupid rule about needing to be on the squad.
That was hilarious.
Oh man! Like, I felt so bad for Violet at the beginning of this movie. She was getting her heart broken left and right.
I don't know why they would include that in the movie. You should go because you'll never know if you could have made it or not. Okay. Hey, I didn't make the team. Can I still try out? No, sorry. What? Why? What's the difference?
It's just a stupid rule because who knows? She could have missed tryouts. She could have been. There could have been nepotism on the squad.
Yeah.
Who knew?
At one point in this movie, I want to say 35 minutes in, I kind of just stopped taking notes, and I was just enthralled. I was in this movie. Yeah, I stopped taking notes. I couldn't do it anymore. I just needed to watch.
Yeah, there was one point. I think it's the final video where my brain was just like, I'm looking at the screen like, I don't even care what's going on right now. I just need to know who's doing this. Like it does. Like, okay, he's fucking up their whole life. Got it. Okay, they're making fun of the principal. Good, cool. Okay, who's doing this? That's all I need to know. It was like the end of a Scooby-Doo mystery. I'm like, who's going to be under the mask?
It's the whodunit of the century.
Yeah.
Eat your heart out, Knives Out. I know it sounds like we're all praising it, and I think we've all come to that agreement that we've enjoyed this movie.
Yeah.
But make no mistake, it's not a good movie. It's not shot well. The dialogue is very lacking. There's some definitely rough dialogue in this movie. Namely, Rebecca telling Liv that she sort of aborted her when she had the chance.
That might be my favorite line in the movie because it just comes out of nowhere.
Who's the little bitch now?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, she probably should have said that to her before she hit her in the head with the baseball bat. It doesn't hit as hard, no pun intended, to get one back at your mom when she's already dead.
Yeah.
I think the dialogue was spotty. The acting is rough at times, and I'm pretty sure none of these girls knew what cheerleading was. I don't know if they knew how to do it, because the way the movie's edited when they're doing their cheer routines, it's edited to make them look as if they are dancing, when in reality they're just kind of moving and doing what they think is cheer.
Sure.
Well, yeah, maybe thinking about this, maybe this whole movie and the ending and the revenge plot was just getting mad at Beth for being in the movie The Girl Who Believed in Miracles.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed this movie. That's not to say that it's like a 10 out of 10, but I can't remember a movie that I've cared so deeply about that we've covered, at least.
Sure.
I mean, the ending didn't leave me with a character that I would stand for. Unlike what was that? The one with the college girls.
My Teacher, My Obsession.
Yeah.
They were in high school. They don't stay.
Just real quick. I'm sorry. I don't think there was. If there was one girl I was gonna stan, would it not be Beth, the girl seeking justice?
True. Yeah. But I mean, Liv, she finally fights back against her shitty mom.
Yeah.
While ruining another person's life.
Well, yeah.
You guys have interesting. We need to talk about who you guys stand, because it's homicidal maniacs.
Yeah.
I mean, Ant's all on his own in this one.
All right, Mark, you and I we're in this together then.
Just for this movie. I mean, I'm with them with Kayla or Kyla. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the innocent people. And you guys could have your Jeffrey Dahmers and.
Well, you heard her at the end. She wasn't innocent.
Yeah, I mean that's straight from her mouth. She's saying that it's all her fault. So
And I think that plays into the whole dialogue not being a very well-rounded movie in general, because that's the wrong message.
I also enjoy how dumb Beth is that she couldn't put two and two together. That Liv was the one that hit her mother.
Right. So why keep the receipts, girl? Don't delete that text message, you idiot.
That's where Ashley was the smarter of the two.
Again, Beth did everything incorrectly. You're going to confront the woman who's sabotaging your life. Have your phone recording.
Yep. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yes. That is immediately what you should do. Also, did she have the actual evidence of the mom planting the deep fake on the laptop? We don't know. She might not have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mark.
And who knew if that wasn't a deep fake? But
right. Yeah, that could have been anybody. That's a fake video too. Yeah.
We're going into like Inception levels here now.
My gasp of realization I just had was I don't know if Ant remembers this, or maybe I'd have to look back. But who's the one that tells her to delete the text message? Is that our Liv thing? Does Liv tell her to delete the text message, or is it the other girl?
Oh no! They don't convince. They just go ahead, Anne. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I think it might be Sarah.
Okay.
The other girl.
Yeah.
That doesn't have an arc, except she hooks up with Violet.
Yeah.
And
I don't really remember.
I think it's Liv who convinces Beth to have the drink, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she sets her up there. I'm trying to remember. Because it's at the. I think Liv was the one who told her to not to delete it, but to forget about it.
I think that's really what they come to the conclusion with, and then Beth decides on her own to delete it.
Correct. Yeah, I think that's what she's like. Yeah, you know what? I'll just delete the whole thing, and no one will ever know about it.
Well, Liv's in the background going, yes.
Right. Well, she said it. Liv is a mastermind, and
I think that's what we're coming to. We talked through it.
Yeah. She planted the seeds perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
She was operating from the shadows. Her mom was doing the dirty work.
Yeah.
So she's like Trump, where she's pulling the strings, but there's like no fingerprints of Liv anywhere on this.
Just Violet in her animation classes, which comes up a lot.
Yeah. I don't know if you need animation classes to do a deep fake.
It seems like a different set of skills.
Yeah, I think that's more like what would be used for deep fake. It would just be like an app. I'd imagine.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of flimsy there, but you got to give some.
In that video program that they were using, did it really have a button that just said replace face?
It 100% did.
It did. And, yeah, so it's not animation as much as it is just a software program.
Yep. Yeah. So, Deadly Cheer Mom from 2022 is directed by Doug Campbell, and this is the third Doug Campbell movie we've watched because he has directed the first 3 Stalked by My Doctor movies.
Nice.
This might be his magnum opus.
I was trying to think. I think I still like Patience Revenge the best.
I think this movie's going to stick with me more than the other ones.
Interesting. Yeah.
But there are bits and pieces of the Stalked by My Doctors that I will never forget. It was just like the party doctor.
Yep.
He shows up in his Hawaiian shirts. The one guy falling from the ladder.
The ladder.
Yeah. That made me laugh. But I think this is a stronger story.
Sure. Yeah. It's just missing the Eric Roberts for me.
Yeah, this could have had Eric Roberts in it. I think that would have definitely put it over the edge.
It stars Mina Suvari, Carla Mosley, Tommy Rose, Ali Urquhart, Ashley Scott, Alexa Sutherland, Alea Teresa, Grace Patterson, Jazzy Kay, Matthew Sato, and Mercedes Cologne. IMDb score of 4.8 and no Rotten Tomatoes score. Also no budget. Released as a Tubi original on March 24th, 2022. You guys want to get into the plot?
Let's do it.
All right, Dan, what you got?
Guys, just want to let you know about 2 friends of the podcast, and I would ask for you to please go subscribe to them, follow them, give them some love. Of course, I'm talking about the Game Vault podcast and the Top 10 with Tia. Game Vault podcast is a bi-weekly podcast that runs through video game news, games that the hosts have been playing, and their retro roulette game of the week. That's old school games ranging from original Nintendo through some of the newer consoles from the past few years. They play a wide variety of games. It's a lot of fun. So if that's up your alley, please go check them out at Game Vault Podcast and follow them on all socials at Game Vault Pod. And also, real quick, Top 10 with Tia. She's been on the show plenty of times. She's a very good friend of the podcast. Go to geekvibesnation.com, search Top 10 with Tia. Go check it out. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, great. And we are going to take a quick break, and you guys are going to listen to messages from friends of the podcast. So we will be right back.
Hey everyone, this is Steve.
And this is Adam.
And we're part of the Hop Nation USA podcast,
Pittsburgh's #3 craft beer podcast.
Join us every Friday for new beer reviews.
We'll talk about the news, history, and homebrewing.
Plus, we'll sit down with the best brewers and industry personalities that'll have us.
So whether you're a casual drinker, a hazy boy hophead,
or even if you're a whale hunting cellar hoarder,
just search Hop Nation USA on Apple, Spotify, or your favorite podcatcher and join the nation.
Oh hi, didn't see you there. It's me, George, from the best little horror house in Philly, the show where we talk about the best horror movie ever made, according to our guest at least. We've talked about groundbreaking classics like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Alien, but we've also got a lot of great ones coming up, including some very fun guests like Len Kabaczynski of Swamp Zombies and Red Letter Media fame, Caroline Williams, the star of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and Chase Williamson from John Dies at the End. So make sure you're subscribed to the best little horror house in Philly, and I'll see you boils and ghouls over there.
And welcome back. Now it's time to get into the plot for Deadly Cheer Mom. We open on some teenagers partying in what looks to be a very expensive in-ground pool, doing things that teenagers do, drinking, making out, and smoking reefer.
The reefer, man.
I haven't heard that word in forever.
Then as the shenanigans hits a lull, the scene fast forward to 2 girls smoking weed in a hot tub, talking about how terrible pre-calc is. One of the girls says she's not doing too well, and the other girl says she should just sleep with the teacher in order to get a good grade. They pull out, and this is apparently footage shot at the party by someone. The shadowy figure uses a very sophisticated deepfake machine with a big button that just says replace face. And uses it to
Real quick, the girl in the hot tub saying she's failing calc, that's not Beth.
It is not.
Who
they
is
replace. I don't remember at this point.
Yeah.
But it might not be anybody that we come to know.
Might just be someone at the party.
Yeah.
Because I was just going to have the same thing as you. I was like, wait a second. Doesn't she have all straight A's?
Right. Well, I just couldn't remember who it was.
Well, because it would make sense to have to do the deepfake technology to replace the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because they're using like a bunch of her social online videos, which was a part that was like talked about a good amount of times, but never was like a part of the plot. She does like the one video.
Yeah.
I guess she has like a social media presence already.
I also thought that the whole followers thing was going to come into play at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at no point that I know of did she ever say she wanted a huge social media following. Everybody just assumed that, or that was something we were supposed to know about Beth.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, we know that she has some social media presence, but we never hear her say, I want to be a big social media influencer. Is that just because the director thinks, well, this is what all Zoomers want to be? So maybe that's what my main character is going to be.
I guess so. She doesn't do a whole lot of work on it, though.
No, she's not very good at it either.
No.
The one video she posts is fucking boring.
Yeah, I guess it's like a vlog, basically, of her. I'm sure it's like supposed to be Instagram, but
it's like a mixture. Oh, I guess it's a story. I was going to say the fact that she says it goes away after 24 hours. I was like, was that like a Snapchat thing? Like, but I guess the Instagram stories go away after 24 hours as well.
Yeah,
yeah, that's a good point.
And they use this replace face to replace one of the girls' face with a third girl, and manipulates the audio to make it seem like she's going to try and sleep with a cheerleading recruiter. With a cut to 4 weeks earlier at a cheerleading practice, as the girl that was the victim of this deepfake technology, Beth, is on the team with a bunch of other girls. As Mina Savari, the coach, watches on, as do a few cheer moms. A couple of girls bump into each other during the routine, but otherwise it goes off without incident. Everyone gathers around as the coach is about to post a list of cuts, including the moms, and one of them ignores her daughter, who tells her that she thinks she sprained her ankle. I don't know why the moms are so up in this cheerleading practice.
Maybe it's a Hollywood Hills thing.
Maybe.
Cheer moms.
Yeah.
I loved it, though. I was all for it.
She also announces that a local college is holding a cheer workshop and that there may be scholarship opportunities to the participants of the workshop. Then she announces the Captain Beth, the girl that had that deepfake technology used against her in the first scene. Beth seems uncomfortable, even as the other girls congratulate her, except for one of them, whose mom says she'll fix it. Coach posts the roster, and all the girls go over and celebrate, making the team, except for one girl who may be the only cut. I think Violet is the only person cut from the team. Beth walks over to the coach, and it turns out the coach is her mom, but her mom says that she was the best one out there for the job. And the one bitchy girl, Ashley, goes over to Beth to accuse the coach of favoritism. Beth tells her she's just jealous, but Ashley persists, even saying that Beth will probably get the scholarship at the workshop because her mom, the coach, is friends with the recruiter.
I think the movie could... Now, maybe I'm wrong, and let me know if you guys feel the same way, but...
Yes.
I think... Okay, perfect. Thank you. No, I think the movie could have used a little bit of intrigue in terms of maybe Beth isn't great. You know what I mean? Like, maybe show her... Maybe she doesn't nail it, right? Whatever routine she's doing, maybe she doesn't 100% nail it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that way it can create that little doubt that, oh, maybe Mina Savari is showing favoritism.
Yeah.
But we never get there. Like, Beth pretty much does her routines flawlessly. So as the audience, you think, oh, yeah, well, she's good. She didn't mess up. So why would we think that she's not deserving of captain?
Yeah, it's 100%. It's kind of... but I guess I don't know. It's funny because I don't know if we're supposed to feel like at the end, it was those things. I don't know, but that's what they feel. It's such an odd note to end this movie on, but I love it for it.
Maybe he just the director kind of lost track of his meaning in this movie, like how to get to that meaning.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what the meaning of this movie is, because if we come away with these two that were victims for most of the movie being, well, I guess it's all our fault.
It's victim blaming.
Ashley's mom, Marisol, also gets into the face of the coach, saying that she shows blatant favoritism, and all the moms think it's obvious. But one of the moms comes to the defense of the coach, Rebecca, But Ashley's mom, Marisol, storms off with the other moms, saying she's going to talk to the principal. At home, Beth once again asks her mom if she made the right choice picking her as captain, and she reaffirms saying that there's more to being team captain than learning routines, and that Ashley's personality isn't cheer captain material. She also says that Marisol is still bitter about losing cheer captain to her all the way back in high school. Then they start talking about the routine, and Beth winds up getting another girl replaced in the routine with herself. It's kind of a shitty moment.
Well, to be fair,
Mark waiting. He's like, and pause and go. All
right. To Beth, she did try to get someone else. She tried to get Ashley to be the replacement, but her mom. Yeah. So maybe Mina Savari's character was a bad person.
I don't know.
I'm like having this realization now. Like the only one that's victimized and shouldn't blame herself for anything is Beth, because she literally befriends the girl that gets kicked off the team, tries to get Ashley a star spot, but the mom keeps fucking all these girls over.
Can I ask you a question though? If a girl's mother is constantly just up your ass, giving you a hard time, are you not going to have a hard time rewarding that person's kid?
Sure. Yeah, right. I see that side of the
sins of the father type of thing.
Yeah. I think the problem is that it is like, even though she puts Beth in that spot, it's all presented as in with good intentions, right?
Sure.
Mina Savari, regardless of what her motivations are for the decisions she makes in terms of this cheer team, it is all presented as to benefit the team, right?
Yeah. That's how it seems.
Yeah, because she's like completely she's hands off when it comes to the workshop. Her and Teddy never share a scene, so it's not like, because they mention that they're friends, they don't share a scene together. So it's like maybe at the fundraiser. But that's almost the third act at that point. So it's hard. It's like, is she like, because Beth is also presented as the perfect cheerleader, perfect teenager, perfect daughter, perfect student.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like everything makes sense from that aspect.
Okay. Yeah. I guess you're trying to. I guess, are they trying to just like poke holes in the perfect family theme? Like, the mom is a good coach. She cares about the kids. Her daughter is straight A student. She's perfect, blah, blah, blah. So we need to bring that down a peg for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. And then Beth gets cryptic messages on her phone telling her not to go to the workshop from an unknown number. The next day at practice, the girl she replaced in the routine asks her if she got her removed, and Beth says she did accidentally, but her mom will definitely put her in other routines. Girl basically says it's fine. She wasn't even good in that role anyway. Then I see the girl Violet, the one that got cut, and Beth mentions that she feels bad because she suggested to her mom that another girl should make the team other than Violet. Ashley overhears this too as she's walking by. Then Violet face plants on the bleachers and throws her lunch everywhere. So Beth goes over to cheer her up and convinces Violet to go to the workshop, even though she got cut, and Beth invites her to have lunch with her and her friends. At night, Beth records a video on her phone, some sort of Instagram reel about her cheerleading experiences, complete with product placement, and goes to bed early ahead of the workshop. But after her mom closes her bedroom door, she sneaks out to go to a party. At the party, she meets up with her friends and her boyfriend, Grant. Terrible name for a boyfriend, Grant.
Yeah.
Who guilts her over all the time she spends with cheerleading, and that he was hoping that college would be different. So she decides to let loose a little and allows herself to have one drink, as she says. And Ashley stands in the corner recording Beth taking a shot.
That's fucked up, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's not cool. Even if you don't like someone, that's a breach of privacy.
Yeah.
You're all at the same party for the same reasons.
Right.
Don't be a snitch.
Exactly. Everyone's there to have fun and let loose. Don't do that. Don't be that person.
I like how there's no question as to why Ashley was there to be able to take that video.
Yep.
I think the only time it works is if something bad is going down, like someone is hurting another person, or like if you want to put it on World Star, that's different. Do that.
Yeah.
But there's nothing World Star appropriate at this party. Everyone was just having a good time.
Yeah. And maybe it's just that we're older, so we didn't go to college and high school when they were like cell phones with cameras readily available. But it's like you're doing things that are technically illegal, right? You're drinking underage.
Yeah.
Everybody's in the same boat. Let's all be pals.
Right. Yeah. Loose lips sink ships kind of thing, you know?
Exactly. Ruining it for everybody. The next morning, Beth is getting ready for the workshop when she gets a message from that unknown number again. This time it's a video of herself talking to the camera. And at first it seems normal, but then it's her saying that she hates cheerleading, her team, and her mom. At the workshop...
Did you notice the deepfake is... maybe it gets better later in the movie, but this first deepfake is pretty atrocious. It shows the original video, like, oh, I got to get ready to go to the whatchamacallit tomorrow. And then I talk like this, and I do not want to be there, and I hate this person. There's such a tonal shift in the video that anyone in their right mind would see that and be like, well, that's obviously fake.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think they make mention of it, and that's like, so in this next scene, they say that it's pretty terrible because like the lips are off and stuff like that. And then the one that gets posted is like a better version of that.
Okay.
So Violet keeps going to those animation classes. It keeps getting better.
She's getting some overtime and extra credit. Yeah. Teacher, could you show me how to match up the lips and everything? Sure, Violet. I don't know why you need this, but here you go. That's also, I'm sorry. This should probably not be taught at a school if that's what's going on.
Right?
How to do deep fakes.
I think like they all feel like it's all technology is the same. So like if you know one technology, you know all technology. Because there's a point where Beth is like, "Oh, I wish I knew how to retrieve those text messages again." Maybe Violet, because she's doing those animation classes.
She's been on computers. I know she knows how to do it. Yeah. I've seen her type.
That boyfriend sounded very much like my mother. Oh, Mark, you fixed my phone one time. Don't you know how to fix an extremely complicated problem with our computer?
Yes. It's the writer's boomerism was showing in this. Well, if you know one computer skill, you know them all.
Yeah. At the workshop, Beth starts talking to her friends. Violet gives us an explainer of what a deepfake is. They all assume it's Ashley that did it, and Beth decides she's just going to delete it and not let Ashley get to her. The recruiter comes in. His name is Teddy, and he greets Beth, and he's a friend of her mom's, and he says that he wants to see her bring her A game because her mom is the coach.
Were either of you guys worried about him at first?
Did you think he was going to be the one behind it all?
I thought he was going to be kind of sleazy because the first thing he says to Beth is, "Oh, wow, you've grown up," and that's usually not a good sign.
It's not great, right?
Yeah, usually that's like, "Oh, wow, you've really grown up."
Oh man, Beth, grown up so much. 18, right?
Yeah. Did I ever tell you that me and your mom used to, we were a thing back in the day?
The college cheer coach talks with the girls and gives them the usual coach talk about taking this stuff seriously or whatever. Then they break Violet's heart again by telling her she can't try out because she's not on the team anymore. And then they do the routine that the coach told them to practice. Meanwhile, Beth's mom and Marisol sit down with the principal. Marisol throws a whole bunch of accusations the coach's way, including that Beth is practically running the team behind the scenes. Principal says she's going to be at practices indefinitely to make sure that there's no favoritism going on. Back at the workshop, Beth takes a drink from her water bottle and then goes back to the next routine. But as she does the choreography, she starts to get dizzy and passes out. She wakes up, she's in her bed, and her friends and her mother are there. They tell her she passed out in the middle of the routine, but the recruiter gives her another chance despite the fact that 2 other girls were cut that didn't pass out.
You know what I thought was going to happen? I thought we were going to get a Lisa's enemy situation. Oh, did I get first chair? No, Allison got first chair. So I thought, oh, did I get it? No, Ashley got it.
Believe me, this is no dream.
Yeah. I really thought that was going to happen. I think I would have stood up and applauded if that happened.
Her mom tells her that she wants her to take her to the hospital to run some tests. Next day at school, everyone is looking at Beth and laughing at her. She approaches her friend Liv that tells her that the deepfake was posted and it went viral, and it's improved since the first time she saw it. And now is her chugging a tequila bottle. And her one other friend, Sarah, says she could she should embrace it because she's got a whole bunch of new followers. So then Beth then accuses Sarah of doing the deep fake, and Sarah says, why is she freaking out if she knows it's not real? Then Ashley comes by and tells her she knew she was a phony. Beth then goes in front of the principal, who is ready to dole out punishment. Beth tries to tell her that it's a deep fake, but when pressed to show evidence, she doesn't have any because she deleted the text messages. So the principal tells her that she's got detention for the next 3 Saturdays. Beth protests, saying that she has the workshop those days, and the principal basically says tough shit. The next day of practice, Marisol is demanding Beth be kicked off the team, but her mom defends Beth, saying that if Beth says the video is fake, then she believes her. Mom even says that Beth doesn't drink, which prods Ashley into showing the video of Beth drinking at the party, which Beth admits is real. Also, her mom is like freaked out that she's kissing boys. That comes up. I don't remember if it was this scene, but
yeah, it is, because she says, as far as I know, there's no rule against kissing boys.
Yeah.
I think the parents and the principal really overstep their bounds in this movie. Like, you can't call for the principal to suspend somebody. That's not how it works. You talk to the principal, I guess, and then the principal would make the decision. But talking shit about your school is not a suspendable offense, right? As far as I know.
As far as I would think so. I would
right? We're not in Russia here or anything. Like, you can't. As far as I know, you could talk shit about whatever you want.
It's true.
Yeah, like you said, this principal overreaching.
Yeah,
like, getting her in trouble for things off campus.
Right. I don't think you can do that. I think you can call the cops about the underage drinking.
Yeah,
but you don't know what was in that bottle.
Yeah, and I think really the only people that could have had any reason to do anything to Beth because of that video were the college cheer people.
Right.
Because it's one of the first things the other coach says about character.
Yeah. Yeah, they could basically tell her that we're not going to let you try out. That's it. Like, they can't do anything worse.
No, but they're the only ones that can give her a consequence in this situation.
I agree. Yeah, I don't think a principal has the authority.
Right. At home, Beth's mom demotes her from cheer captain, tells Beth that she's not upset about the drinking, she's more upset about her keeping secrets. So Beth apologizes and continues to profess her innocence about the deepfake video. She goes to her room and her boyfriend knocks on the window and she lets him in, and they immediately start making out on the bed. She tells him that she thinks that Ashley made the deepfake. He goes into details about why he doesn't think Ashley would be capable of doing the deepfake, and tries to convince her that there's a chance that Beth actually made the video and doesn't remember. This is kind of the moment where it's like, oh, damn, he's probably behind it.
Yeah, he's trying to gaslight her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in full gaslight mode right now. He then says that maybe it's just easier to say that she did it to the principal and move on, and he says at least they could go to the football game together now. So they go to the game and watch the cheer team perform with Ashley as cheer captain. Then Grant tells her that he applied to the same college as her in order to be with her. At night, Beth is dreaming about all the people she thinks might have done the deepfake, then wakes up to find her window open. So she grabs a pair of scissors for protection, looks out the window to see if she could see anyone, but there's no one there.
The scissors never come into play again, do they?
No.
Yeah, that's a bit of a bummer.
Also, the knife at the end never comes into play.
No, you're right. Yeah, Chekhov's scissors and Chekhov's knife.
Yep. Yeah. So she goes back to bed with the scissors by her nightstand. The next day at school, Beth is sitting at detention with the principal. Outside, she sees Ashley talk to Teddy and gets some FOMO. So she tells the principal that she actually made the video. She says that she started drinking and she was just venting, and that she lied about the text messages and the deep fake. So the principal says the only way to learn from our mistakes is to admit them and to learn from them. So she lets Beth go to the workshop in exchange for lunch trash pickup during school hours. And Beth runs off to go to the workshop and runs into the coach. And she asks her about the video. And Beth tells her that it was fake and that she's committed to the team and the college. Meanwhile, Beth's mom and the rest of the cheer moms are getting together to talk about fundraising ideas. Marisol's just there to basically start some shit about Beth and to trash talk Rebecca Liv's mom's famous dip.
Your dip is trash.
Your dip is trash. Too much celery.
Can we make that a T-shirt? Can we start doing T-shirts?
Your dip is trash.
Yeah.
Your dip is trash. My favorite part of this is that she says that you put too much celery in it.
Yeah.
What is she chopping at the end of the movie?
Celery.
Just
Look at that.
so much fucking celery.
And Rebecca says no one likes you. Basically saying no one wants you here, no one likes you to Marisol. Again, this dialogue is Tarantino worthy.
Yeah,
So much drama
You could have literally swapped the dialogue between the teenagers and the mothers, and it wouldn't have mattered.
But yeah, I think that's what it is. It's basically these women are they're as invested, if not more invested, in the cheerleading stuff than the daughters and the. But in the school, for some reason, is really invested in it.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Must have a terrible football team.
Well, that's evident by the non-existent football team that we have.
If I was the principal, I'd just be like, it's just another fucking thing with this cheer team. Jesus Christ.
I wanted to say the scene where the principal has Beth at detention and then lets her go. She says, I want to be here on a Saturday. That's your fault. You're the one telling her to be there.
Yeah.
And usually the principal's not the one who's in charge of detention, right? Isn't a teacher in charge of that usually?
Yeah, it's like, you're the principal. Why are you dealing with detention?
There are no teachers in this school. We don't see one.
Well, the principal's taken, I was going to say advice, but another word, inspiration from the Breakfast Club. Where the principal runs Saturday detention.
The principal listens to everything moms say.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything on her own. It's the moms are coercing her into making decisions.
Yeah. Back at the workshop, the coach posts the cuts, and Beth and her friends have made it to the next round. But at that moment, the moms are made aware of a new video of Beth, and this is the one we saw in the beginning of Beth in the hot tub smoking some marijuana and talking about how she should fuck Teddy in order to get the scholarship. Back at home, Beth is watching the video, astounded at the fake video. Her mom comes in and tells her that the doctor called and she tested positive for oxycodone. Beth says she must have been drugged at the workshop with someone putting something in her drink, but now her mother doesn't believe anything she says.
So no, I'm not a drug expert here, obviously, but wouldn't it have been better if it was like, Rohypnol rather than Oxy? Like, that seems.
Well, if you test positive for Rohypnol, no one just takes Rohypnol on their own for recreation.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's like,
Point made.
I was drugged.
I concede that. Point made.
Beth says if she doesn't. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm also not a drug expert, but I don't know if oxycodone reacts super quickly. Like, right? She takes the drink, and like a moment later, she's on the floor. She's out. Is it that fast?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I guess we're barking up the wrong tree there, but
yeah.
If any drug users out there know what it's like to be on Oxy, let us know. It puts me on my ass immediately.
Hit us up on Twitter or Threads. Wherever.
Yeah. Beth says if she doesn't believe her, go ahead and check her room. So her mom does and finds nothing until she looks under her mattress and finds an entire handle of tequila, some weed paraphernalia, and some more pills. Everything short of a handgun.
I thought she was going to find the scissors. I don't know what it would have meant, but I thought they would be there.
Yeah. At school the next day, Beth's mom sits with the principal saying there's no proof these videos are real, but the principal says that Beth has already admitted that the first video was real. Marisol and Liv's mom are also there in the meeting, and Beth's mom starts talking about the punishments she'll be handing to Beth and her two friends. Though Marisol isn't too pleased, and she feels like they're letting them off easy. But the principal thinks the punishments are fair.
Does Marisol just want nobody on the team except for her daughter?
I think pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. We also don't really know much about the daughter, right? Ashley.
Yeah.
We know more about Marisol.
I was going to say, yeah, we know more about the mom. Beth's mom and Rebecca, Liv's mom, talk outside the school and talk about Beth. Beth's mom tells her she found pills and worries Beth is going down the wrong path her dad did. But Marisol hears all of this as she eavesdrops. At practice, Beth's mom tells her that she has to go to a therapist to deal with her problems. They get into a spat and Beth goes off to the bleachers to cool off, where Violet is watching. They talk a little bit and then Violet abruptly says she needs to go to an animation class at the college she's been taking. Violet asks what Beth plans to do after cheerleading, and Beth says she's never even thought about it before. Later, Beth finishes up her therapy session and walks out when it's done, and then her mother sits with the therapist, which I thought was weird. I felt like that was a violation of some sort of HIPAA oath,
Yeah, there's a lot of that in this movie, I think.
Where it's like, oh, I just had my therapy session. Now my mom's going to ask everything that was talked about. Seems a little weird.
Yeah. But, again, there's so many wrong things that are done in this movie from like top to bottom.
The therapist tells her that she thinks Beth is telling the truth and doesn't seem to be a girl with problems. But she is under a lot of stress and wonders why Beth's mom doesn't believe her. So at home, Beth's mom apologizes for not believing her, but she says it's hard trying to be a single mom. She's just trying to do the right thing, and that she's stressed about Beth going to college. Beth then wonders if her mom ever wanted to do anything besides being a cheer coach, and her mom says no. After school the next day, Beth walks home with her boyfriend, and she talks about wishing that she could retrieve the deleted text messages. She mentions Violet because she's taking animation classes, and her boyfriend says that means Violet probably made the videos. But he says that now that she's suspended, they get to spend more time making out. So the next day at school, Beth confronts Violet and asks her if she made the deepfake videos, and Beth admits that she had something to do with Violet getting cut. But Violet says that she's happy that she's not on the cheerleading team anymore and that she didn't do the deepfake videos. Beth then invites her to the fundraiser and gives her some extra raffle tickets. At the fundraiser, all the girls are dressed up as are the cheer moms, and Violet shows up dressed up more than usual, which turns a bunch of heads, including Sarah, who says she's hot. And Beth's mom shows up and addresses the crowd and says that they put together a video for everyone, but when she plays it, it's a video of Beth and her mom talking in the kitchen from the other night. Instead of what they were actually talking about, they're talking about how they're lying about the videos being fake, and maybe they should pull a Tanya Harding on the other girls so Beth can get the scholarship.
Again, I think this is one of those cases where people who are smart would realize, why would that be playing? Right? Like, why would Mina Savari play this, right, to a crowd of a room full of people?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to say, oh, something's wrong here.
Yeah. Well, first of all, like, who's taking this video?
Exactly. Yeah, clearly it's not of them. Like, Mina Savari didn't take the video.
Yeah.
So someone is invading their privacy, which should be the biggest issue here.
Yeah.
So even if what they're saying was true, someone should have said, someone was outside their house. Does no one care?
No, because they got the truth, Dan.
Oh, that's true.
Beth then invites her to... Beth's mom pleads with everybody, saying the video is fake, but the principal tells them to leave, so they do. Later at night, Beth's boyfriend comes over and she says she's blowing up with followers on social media. That mentions how he thought the Tanya Harding thing was funny, so she thinks he did all of it, so she tells him to leave. I guess because she's like, she never asks this question, but I thought this is where it was going. It was like, well, I didn't tell you what was on the video. How did you know I mentioned it said Tanya Harding?
Ooh.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's where I thought it was going, but it didn't wind up being that.
Yeah, because they were all in on it.
Right? Yeah, so he leaves, and Beth goes to talk to her mom, who is just getting off the phone with the principal. Beth is suspended and potentially getting expelled. She's no longer invited to their cheer workshop, which is like the last fucking thing on her plans. Like, who gives a shit at this point?
Yeah, it's all unraveled.
Yeah. And there's an active investigation with the police over the threats in the video. And her mom says the principal wants to talk to her about her job tomorrow. The next day, Beth goes to the school and walks around the empty gym thinking about her missed cheerleading glory. She then notices a camera and realizes that there might have been footage of someone uploading the video the night before. Beth's mom sits down with the principal and Marisol, and the principal announces that Marisol will be taking over the position of cheer coach. Beth tracks down Liv and tells her that she has an idea for the security cameras captured evidence of Beth's innocence. So she says she wants to break into the principal's office to get the camera footage, and Liv reluctantly agrees. The next day, which is Saturday, Sarah and Violet accompany them to the school, and they go in through the side door, which happens to be unlocked. Beth and Liv go into the principal's office while Violet and Sarah keep watch. Meanwhile, a security guard is slowly on their trail. Beth starts going through the principal's computer looking for the footage, while Violet and Sarah start getting to know each other a little more. They hear the security guard coming, so Sarah and Violet start making out, pretending they were only there to practice for prom, as they say. This buys Beth and Liv time to find the right file, and Beth pulls it up, and it shows that Liv's mom, Rebecca, was the one that uploaded the video. And Beth tries to convince Liv that they need to confront her mom, but Liv starts to freak out, saying she can't talk to her mom about this. She tells Beth she needs to confront her mom on her own, but she'll wait. So she tells Beth that Beth needs to confront Rebecca on her own, but she'll wait at a nearby coffee shop until she's done. If Beth agrees, then Liv races home. At home, Liv tells her mom that she screwed up by uploading the video right in front of a camera, and Rebecca tells her it was Liv's idea, but Liv claps back, saying she was joking and that she wouldn't have gone along with it if her mom hadn't offered to pay for them. And at this point, it's like Rebecca's like, well, it was your idea. I shouldn't have listened to you. It's like you're the mom,
right? Yeah. You're the adult here. Does anyone? Right. Yeah, you would think that there would be a coherent plan, like they would talk it out and everything.
Mhm.
But I think it's the cheer mom aspect, like Mark was saying, where she is far more invested in this than Liv is.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing that Liv could do that would make the mother proud anyway.
Right.
So she's gonna take it into her own hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Liv says that Beth is on her way over, and Rebecca tells her to chill the fuck out, stop being a baby, and she will handle it. She also says she wishes she aborted her when she had the chance.
What a savage comment.
How do you come back from that? Man, she deserves to die.
Yeah, I was gonna say the way that you come back from it is bashing your mother in the head with a baseball bat.
It's like, imagine living in that house with that woman.
Yeah, because I'm assuming that's probably not the first time Liv's been told that.
Yeah. Liv goes to her room. Meanwhile, at the school, Beth's mom approaches Marisol after cheer practice to ask her if she told the police about the drugs she found in Beth's room. Marisol says she didn't tell the police because her nephew died of a drug addiction and she knows the police didn't do anything to help him. And all that she ever wanted was for Ashley to get a fair shot.
Real quick, that's a bullshit scene. It gives Marisol like this humanity that just from out of nowhere, right? This entire movie, Marisol's been nothing but really snarky and mean-spirited and just overall just not a good person. So now all of a sudden, oh no, I love your daughter. I just wanted my daughter to have a fair shot. You didn't act like that the entire movie.
Right.
Well, Marisol was right all along.
Was she?
Well, she's nepotism.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, to the director, she was right.
Yeah.
to sane people, no.
Yeah, I mean, this is supposed to be like the revelation scene, really.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but
I don't
like.
like. Okay. Yeah. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah, she's been a bitch the entire time, and now she's like, oh well, there's a reason why I've been a bitch this whole time.
You got to have those scenes where Marisol doesn't act like a complete jerk.
Yeah. Beth's mom then realizes the only other person that knows about the drugs was Rebecca. At that moment, Beth shows up at Rebecca's house and tells her that there's camera footage of her uploading the video. All the while, Rebecca is cutting up way too much celery for a terrible dip, probably.
It would have been great if they showed just a little bit of celery instead. Like she learned from her mistakes.
She gives her some excuse about her mom telling her to upload the video for her, but when pressed, Rebecca immediately just gives it a lie. Rebecca says that she was tired of waiting for Liv's time to shine, and Liv was never going to get the scholarship with Beth in the way. Beth says that Liv didn't need the scholarship, but Rebecca says it isn't about need, it's about prestige and winning. Rebecca says that she hasn't done anything illegal. Rebecca says that she hasn't done anything illegal, so Beth says, well, maybe the cops will think differently about that. Which was like, she's really confident about that idea.
Yeah. Well, that's the sociopath's confidence.
Yeah.
Right?
Everything I did was completely illegal. Like, probably not.
Yeah. That reminds me, like when Beth was telling, at the beginning when the first deepfake came out, and Beth was talking to the principal, and the principal says, "Oh, deepfake. I've heard a lot of things, but deepfake, that's a new one." Well, yeah, it's a brand new technology. Of course, it's going to be a new one. Like these people are just, what are they thinking in this movie?
And so Rebecca tries to get her to stop dialing the police and starts wrestling the phone away from Beth. Struggle leads Rebecca to push Beth that she hits her head on the fireplace and knocks her out. Rebecca calls Liv down to try and help her move Beth's body, but while Rebecca's back is turned, Liv hits her in the head with the baseball bat. She says, "Who's the little bitch now?" Then Liv goes outside and sees Beth's mom pull up to the house, so she pretends that she just got home and that Beth is inside. So they both go inside, and Beth's mom sees Beth lying on the ground, and Liv acts just as shocked to see her mom lying on the ground. Beth's mom is able to stir Beth awake, but Liv calls 911 as Rebecca isn't breathing. We then fast forward to the cops interviewing Liv and Beth, telling both sides of their stories, what happened, and they wheel Rebecca out in a body bag. Some time goes by, and at the workshop, Liv is granted the scholarship, which she dedicates to her mom. Meanwhile, Beth is in jail for involuntary manslaughter.
And she's okay with it.
Yep, she's thriving.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, the food's not bad. I'm going to take a course here. You get 3 hots and a cot."
Yep.
Yeah, it would have been great if the course she was taking was on video production.
Right.
And she's doing deep fakes to try and get back at the other girls.
I think we just wrote the sequel.
Yeah, 100%. The Revenge of Beth.
Yes. See her talk with her mom over a video call, and they both blame themselves for all the things that happened, even though they've been victims this whole time. Apparently, the message of this movie is the preferential treatment is wrong, and that you should never let your ambition come between you and your friends. Then later at a party, Violet confronts Liv about payment for the deepfake videos, and Liv tells her she just needs time to be able to access her mom's accounts. Then they go to the hot tub, where Liv is now with Grant, and Violet is with Sarah. And that is the end of Deadly Cheer Mom. Wild ride.
Yeah, the only exchange there at the end is between Violet and Liv, where it's like, yeah, it was an accident, and then they left. That's where I got that they were all in on it.
Well, at least Liv and Violet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now
maybe Sarah's just horny. Who knows?
Possible. I don't know if you guys are gonna think that I'm wrong for saying this, but Beth, at the time that she goes to prison, has 330,000 followers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, jail time, probably not a death sentence for her. She could probably find a pretty lucrative career selling certain things. And because we as a culture love murderers for some reason.
Sure.
Especially good-looking murderers.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like OnlyFans is in her future, and she would just make an absolute killing.
Yeah. I mean, there's an entire season of Orange is the New Black where there's a subplot about them selling their underwear. They're smuggling out their used underwear to get them to sell on the outside.
And they don't have 300,000 followers.
No, they don't.
They just have. Men are just disgusting creatures. Is basically.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So yeah, I know there's thousands of people who would be following her. As soon as she gets out, send me your underwear, send me feet pics, send me something. And like, all right, well, listen, $25 is $25.
Yeah, sure. It's a brave new world 2023 now that she's out.
Hell yeah. Write a book.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna make out better than those girls do.
Oh yeah, definitely. Not waste your time with cheer practice.
Right. Also, one more thing. I'm sorry to feel like I'm taking over, but I'm just so invested. 330,000 followers. Do you think that I wanted that to come into play at some point? Why would 330,000 people care about this little story happening? They have no involvement in it, right? There's no investment there.
Right. I don't know.
So what do they care?
It's a hot girl in drama.
But
that's all it is.
But like, say you guys go on TikTok right now, and there's a blonde woman who's drinking tequila and saying, "Oh, I hate cheerleading practice." Would you follow them for that?
No, not personally.
Right. And I'm not trying to like trap you guys or anything.
But it feels like, Dan.
Shut up, Chris Hansen. I know it's you.
So you're telling me you'd follow a 17-year-old girl? Interesting. No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if I saw that, I would just be like, okay, and scroll past it, because I don't care about this high school in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But, I mean, I feel like people have gotten famous for dumber things.
For less, that's true.
Yeah.
There's that yodeling kid. Remember him?
Yeah.
All he did was yodel. Yeah, Chocolate Rain. Yeah. Who else? The lightsaber kid. Yeah, and those are like all unattractive guys.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something there.
Those are all timer YouTube stuff.
That's like perfect timing for them, right? Right time, right place.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't care that Beth is talking shit about her high school.
What if she sang Chocolate Rain?
Now we're talking about something different. Smash that follow button.
That is Deadly Cheer Mom. Wild ride.
It's a good ride.
Yeah. And we're going to take a quick break before our third segment. And you guys are going to listen to some ads so we can pay those bills. And we will be right back. And welcome back. And now it's time to get into the third segment. And I'm going to call this Two Truths and a Lie, Doug Campbell edition. So, Doug Campbell has a ton of movies on his filmography. It's about somewhere in the upwards of 50 or something like that. Most of them sort of the same. So, I got like 7 sets of movie titles. 2 of them are director Doug Campbell's movies that he's directed, and the third one is not. It's one that I just made up, and you got to tell me which one it is. All right, makes sense.
I like this already.
Which one is the fake movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. So here's first one. And all of these are sort of themed together, kind of clumped all the ones with similar names together. So the first set is Nanny Dearest, The Manny, or The Nanny's Secret.
Wow, these are like impossible, Ant. It's the first question.
I'll answer first. I'll say Nanny Dearest is not. Dan, what's your thoughts?
I'm gonna say the opposite. Nanny's Secrets.
Okay. The fake one is The Nanny's Secret.
Ooh.
That was a toss-up.
The Manny seemed like it was too much of a bait answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. That seems like it throwing us off the trail.
Sure. All right, next set. We have Deadly Book Club, Deadly Garage Sale, or Deadly Mile High Club.
Oh my god.
I so want the first two to be real. One of them is. I'll go with Deadly Garage Sale as the fake one.
Okay.
What was the first one?
Deadly Book Club, Deadly Garage Sale, Deadly Mile High Club.
Deadly Mile High Club. That's also too random to not be. That's got to be real. I'll go with Mark. Deadly Garage Sale. That sounds boring as fuck.
All right, the fake one is Deadly Book Club.
Oh man,
that's pretty good, Ant.
What's more boring though, Garage Sale or a book club?
Well, at least with book club in my head, maybe we can write this. People start dying in the theme of whatever book the club is reading that week.
Yes, Mark.
It.
You struck gold.
All right, edit this out, Ant.
Yeah. TM. All right. Well, we can't write it though until the writer strike is over.
Oh, damn it!
I didn't say when we would write it.
Yeah, that's true.
And you're editing it out anyway, so
it's true. All right, next one. This is a theme that we are familiar with. Stalked by my mother, stalked by my professor, or stalked by my neighbor.
I'll go neighbor.
So it's stalked by my neighbor, stalked by my mother, and stalked by my what?
Professor.
So he's done teacher, so I don't know why he would do professor. I'm going to go with professor.
It is professor.
Oh.
To me, there's a little bit more of a line there. Or it could just be I'm talking out of my head.
All right. Here's the next one. Betrayed at 17, murdered at 17, accused at 17.
Oh.
Jeez Louise.
I'll go with the second one, murdered at 17.
I'll say betrayed at 17.
The fake one is murdered at 17. Mark gets that one.
Nice.
Yes, finally.
There you go. Again, I don't know how you're supposed to know any of that. It's great, but oh man, these could have been any of these could be movies. It's insane.
All right, here's the next set. The High School Client List, Pom Poms and Payback, Walking the Halls.
God.
I want this one to be true, but Pom Poms and Payback. I'll say it's the fake one.
That would be a cool movie too. I'm going to agree with Mark. Not to be boring, but I don't think that's a real movie.
You're both wrong. It is a real movie. Pom Poms and Payback exists. The High School Client List is not real.
I'm kind of glad that does exist, like Mark was saying.
All right. We've got two more sets. Here's the second to last one. Stranded, 1,000 feet up. Killer Flood, the day the dam broke. Or Trapped, buried alive.
I feel like the first one. I'll go with.
What was the first one again?
Stranded, 1,000 feet up.
And then Trapped.
Buried alive. And then Killer Flood, the day the dam broke.
I'm going to say Trapped, buried alive.
Correct answer is Stranded, 1,000 feet up. Mark gets
Nice.
that one.
Good job, Mark. Good job.
Yeah, just the measurement is what made me think.
I like it.
All right, here's the last one. Dirty Teacher, Bad Sister, Evil Stepdad.
Is this from his Pornhub collection?
What's the last one? Not Bad Teacher was the first.
Dirty Teacher, Bad
Dirty
Sister,
Teacher, Bad Sister.
Evil Stepdad.
I'm going to say Evil Stepdad.
I'll go with Bad Sister, or the sister one.
Okay. Answer is Evil Stepdad.
I just guessed.
Dan gets that.
No reasoning. Doesn't Dirty Teacher sounds like a National Lampoon movie, doesn't it?
Yeah, right. Yep, and that's my game. That's all I got left.
Oh, very nice.
That's for fun.
Good job, Ant. Those were insanely realistic.
It's interesting to look through his filmography.
I'm gonna have to look at it after this because I am. If that's just a taste of what he's directed, I need the full course.
Yeah, definitely feel like we've got more in our future.
What was he? Three-time podcast director.
Yep, we covered him for Stalkmine Doctor: The Return, Stalkmine Doctor: Patient's Revenge. He did not direct the fourth one.
Okay, so yeah, I don't
Which
know.
was their least favorite. So
maybe this guy is the key to us enjoying a movie.
Yeah,
possible. I think he's got to be in the top 5 of returning people to the podcast. I imagine like Stallone's up there. This guy
definitely in directors at least.
Yeah, at least in directors he's up there.
Yeah, like I think we've done more Stuart Gordon movies.
Okay.
Obviously Neil Breen, we've done 3.
That's true too. Yeah, I forgot. You can barely call him a director though.
Yeah. Looking at it, Jeff Hare directed Sleepwalker's Nightmare, and not our favorite one.
I look forward to when we cover that movie, so we could just compare how he is to Doug Campbell. It doesn't have that Doug Campbell charm to it.
Yeah. Jeff Hare also directed the 5th one, Just What the Doctor Ordered, which we haven't covered yet.
I like the sound of that though.
All right. That's the episode this week. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for listening to us talk about Deadly Cheer Mom, Tubi original. Go check it out. Yeah, hit us up on the socials. We are on Threads, I guess.
You were so angry about it.
Yeah, I don't care. But Twitter, like, he did it. He imploded it. Good job. Yay, everybody's happy about it. Way to go.
Yeah.
But we're still on there. TikTam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, Threads now. TikTam Pod. Check us out on TikTok. They call us a movie. And if you have questions, comments, you want to suggest a movie to us, tictampod@gmail.com. Send us some emails. Nobody sends emails anymore. But that's how to get in touch with us.
That would be a lie by having the main Damie's email account on my phone, by the way. And
there you go. But yeah, if you have a second, go on to any podcatcher of choice and give us a 5-star review. How about that? And that's gonna wrap us up this week. The director of Deadly Cheer Mom is Doug Campbell. So for Dan Aquino and Mark Myers, this is Anthony DeVecchio telling Doug Campbell, well, you certainly made a movie, didn't you? Thanks for listening to They Called Us a Movie. Subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts, and be sure to check us out on Twitter and Instagram at TicTamPod. That's TCTAM Pod. You can also check us out on TikTok at They Called Us a Movie.